The calamity race also needs to recuperate. We can't fight for long. Really? If you don't believe me, you can send Chan's school disciples to help. The Heavenly Lord of Primordial Beginning did not answer. She only had Hanju in her heart now and was absolutely obedient to him. She wouldn't hesitate even if Hanju asked her to directly fight the great Tao sage. The Heavenly Calamity Emperor approached her mat and sat down. She began to cultivate, waiting for Heavenly Venerate Xian Du's reply. At the same time, Heavenly Venerate Xian Du gathered all the sages. Hanju also went. He had to speak up for the Heavenly Calamity Emperor in case the sages did not believe him. In the Universal Hall, Heavenly Venerate Xian Du repeated Heavenly Calamity Emperor's words. The Calamity race wants to enter the Netherworld? And they want half of it? The South Extreme Heavenly Venerate frowned with a furious expression. The other sages were also puzzled. Hanju said, the Calamity race might not want to be controlled by the Great Tao Sage, so they haven't attacked the world of the living. We can agree. After all, the Netherworld is already controlled by the Calamity race. From the battle situation, the Calamity race is retreating. Qiu Shilai immediately said, in that case, you can agree and see how it goes. Heavenly Venerate Wufa said, fellow Taoist Han makes sense. Sect Master Tianju said, I agree. Li Daokong said, Sect Master is right. Shi Dudao scanned them thoughtfully. Emperor Shao narrowed his eyes and fell into deep thought. Heavenly Venerate Xian Du glanced at Hanju meaningfully. Hanju was indifferent and wasn't afraid of being suspected. In any case, the current Heavenly Tao was under his control. If Heavenly Venerate Xian Du was a smart person, he wouldn't expose him. In that case, I'll agree to her request first and see how the Calamity race performs later. Heavenly Venerate Xian Du pondered. The sages had no objections. The conversation ended. The restrictions in the Heavenly Tao Palace were useless to him. Fang Liang's heart palpitated. How strong was Grandmaster now? Hanju stared at Fang Liang and waited for him to speak. Fang Liang asked, it's rare for you to take the initiative to speak. Could it be that the reason why Heavenly Calamity Emperor retreated is related to you? He suddenly felt like he woke up. What was he doing? After returning to the 100-peak Immortal River, Hanju immediately used the derivation function. Continue. Hanju entered the illusion. When he opened his eyes again, he discovered that he was outside the 33rd heaven. A dazzling light shone from above, illuminating the entire 33rd heaven. Hanju saw the sages standing in front of the Universal Hall and looking up. He looked up and saw a figure in the center of the dazzling light. Fang Liang! Fang Liang was undergoing Tao integration. Tao Ancestor! Hanju turned around and discovered that the dermic powers of the sages were sucked out of their bodies. Then the high and mighty Tao Ancestor appeared. I want the Heavenly Tao to occupy the entire chaos. I apologize, but from today onwards, the Heavenly Tao will no longer have any sages. The Tao Ancestor's voice was extremely calm without any emotion. The illusion ended. Hanju opened his eyes and frowned. Indeed, Fang Liang was a pawn that had been bewitched. It seemed that the Tao Ancestor also had a method similar to the primordial heavenly prison. No! Hanju had finally turned the Heavenly Tao into a harmonious situation. It couldn't be broken by the Tao Ancestor. Hanju might not be safe in the Heavenly Tao when the Tao Ancestor was revived. Fang Liang, oh Fang Liang, I've paved so many paths for you. If you insist on going down the wrong path, I have no choice but to forcefully correct you. Hanju closed his eyes and started cultivating. Fang Liang's disappearance was not suspected by the sages. They even hoped that he would suddenly die. Several hundred years later, Heavenly Venerate Xian Du's voice resounded through the world. The battle between the heavenly Tao and the Calamity race will stop for the time being. The Calamity race will give up half of the netherworld and protect the heavenly Tao together with us. Boom! The myriad worlds and the immortal world were in an uproar. After fighting for so long, they had actually stopped. Furthermore, the Calamity race had taken the initiative to give up half the netherworld. News of the battle in the netherworld had always spread to the myriad worlds. Panic and tension had always enveloped the entire heavenly Tao. They never expected the sages to suddenly announce that the war would stop. It wasn't only the living beings of the heavenly Tao who were puzzled. The Calamity race was the same. The Calamity race generals looked at each other, still dissatisfied. What kind of explanation was this? Divine Lord, actually, joining the heavenly Tao is not impossible. The current heavenly Tao is no longer the previous heavenly Tao, the heavenly Calamity Emperor said meaningfully. Divine Lord Peacock looked at her deeply before turning around and disappearing into the darkness. The heavenly Calamity Emperor did not care and closed her eyes to cultivate. If Divine Lord Peacock wanted to kill her, it would be useless even if she tried her best to guard against him. 1400 years passed. Primordial Heavenly Prison has successfully enslaved the target. Feng Liang has a favorable impression of you. Current favorability, max. Hanju opened his eyes and looked at Feng Liang, who had also opened his eyes. Yes. Looking at Feng Liang acting like a robot, Hanju sighed. However, he did not trigger the Tao Ancestor's hatred notification. It seemed that the Tao Ancestor did not keep tabs on Feng Liang. Perhaps the Tao Ancestor was in danger, or he had many pawns like Feng Liang. Hanju asked, "Did the Tao Ancestor ask you to fuse with the Tao?" Feng Liang shook his head and nodded. "I'm not sure, either. Now that I think about it, my desire to fuse with the Tao is very crazy. There's no motive or reason." Throughout his life, he had been sad and happy, but not bitter and vengeful. The more Feng Liang thought about it, the more confused he became. What was wrong with him? Understood. Feng Liang stood up and bowed. Hanju waved his sleeve and sent him out. After that, he stretched. "I'm saving the heavenly Tao and the sage's future again." Hanju felt that he was so noble. He was saving everything behind the scenes. He looked at the myriad worlds of the heavenly Tao. How pretentious. This fellow was definitely the most confident person he had ever met. Hanju asked, "Then, do you mean that you are invincible in the same realm?" Divine Lord Peacock said proudly, "That's right. What if I send a disciple of the same realm as you to defeat you?" "Impossible." "Oh? Then, I'll send more disciples. The agreement is as before." "No, we agreed on a one-on-one fight." Divine Lord Peacock hurriedly changed his words. Although he was conceited, he was not stupid. Hanju was so confident and definitely had sinister methods. How could he let himself fall into an unfair situation? Hanju smiled. This fellow was interesting. Then don't leave. Wait for him to find you. How long? You can cultivate in seclusion first. You have nothing to do, anyway. Divine Lord Peacock said impatiently, "All right, I'll wait for you." He forcefully shattered the dream again. Hanju opened his eyes and smiled. He still wanted to subdue Divine Lord Peacock, so he stabilized him. Hanju opened the emails and checked his circle of friends. Your good friend Evil Heavenly Emperor was attacked by a mysterious mighty figure and was severely injured. Your good friend Pen Xin was attacked by your enemy, Fuxishan. Your good friend Pen Xin was attacked by your enemy, the Heavenly Lord of Primordial Beginning. Your good friend Pen Xin was attacked by your enemy, Karma Heaven. Your son Han Tual was attacked by a mysterious Tao Devil, X840292. The battle at the deity realm of the ruins of End had begun. Seeing Pan-Xian being beaten, Hanju was quite surprised. Being able to survive meant that Pan-Xian was already very strong. He checked his profile picture. Pan-Xian, late-stage primordial chaos zenith heaven golden immortal, descendant of Pango, one of the first living beings after creation. He has experienced the immeasurable calamity and was playing in the mortal world. Afraid of being discovered by the ancient master of calamity, he infiltrated the Sword Dao River. Because of your nature, he is interested in you. Current favorability, 3 stars. Late-stage primordial chaos zenith heaven golden immortal realm. This leveling speed was too ridiculous. There was also the Providence label of Pango's descendant. It was really impressive. He was only a primordial chaos zenith heaven golden immortal. How could he withstand the siege of a great Dao sage? Could it be that Pango's power was protecting Pan-Xian? Hanju didn't spend his lifespan deducing but continued to check his emails. Ancestor Shitian was entangled by bad luck and lost 300 billion years of his lifespan. It was fine. It was just a drizzle. Hanju didn't care much about lifespan if it was just hundreds of millions now. An existence like Ancestor Shitian still had an endless lifespan, right? Perhaps this was the definition of immortality. The reason why he was immortal was that his lifespan had reached the upper limit? The concept of eternal life was vague. What was eternal life? Live on forever? How long was forever? Hanju thought about it and continued reading the emails. After he finished reading the emails, he immersed himself in cultivation again. Outside the 33rd heaven, Heavenly Dao Palace. Fang Liang sat on the lotus throne with a white-robed man kneeling in front of him. The white-robed man asked, "Master, when will you attempt Dao integration?" Fang Liang replied, "I won't do it." "Won't do it?" The white-robed man was stunned. Fang Liang opened his eyes and focused. The array formation of the Dao field closed and Emperor Shao entered the hall. The array formation of the Dao field activated, blocking all sage sense and voices. Fang Liang waved his sleeve, and a mat appeared in front of him. Sigh. There are so many living beings in the heavenly Dao, but they were actually defeated by a race. How laughable. Fellow Daoist Shao, you don't have to blame yourself. After all, the heavenly Dao has only been restarted for a little more than 10,000 years. After an hour, Emperor Shao left. Fang Liang's expression turned cold. This fellow actually dares to mock my grandmaster. He's really tired of living. 1,000 years passed. Hanju's cultivation level increased again. It had been nearly 20,000 years since his last breakthrough. He was a little unhappy that he hadn't broken through after so long and felt inexplicably terrified. Hanju shook his head. He couldn't think like that. He had to be confident. After all, Divine Lord Peacock was still waiting for him to subdue him outside the Heavenly Dao. He was about to check the emails when Heavenly Venerate Xian Du's voice floated over. Hearing this, Hanju immediately moved forward. Heavenly Venerate Xian Du rarely looked for him. It was usually something big when he did. In the Universal Hall, Hanju arrived. There were only the two of them in the hall. Heavenly Venerate Xian Du was the first to speak. "It's not good." Hanju asked, "What is it?" He obtained the inheritance of Pango's will and his cultivation level rose steadily. It's said that he inherited the great Tao of strength and is preparing to walk the path of the giant god Pango. He wants to kill all the chaotic fiend celestials and obtain the great Tao of chaos. Walking on Pango's path? Hanju raised his eyebrows and asked, "He has the strength to do so?" Heavenly Venerate Xian Du shook his head. "My master said that he holds the heaven opening axe and has a 36th grade chaotic green lotus on his head. Be it attack or defense, even a great Dao sage will find it difficult to resist." So ridiculous? Hanju suddenly thought of the heaven opening axe the system had given him. Hanju was puzzled. Heavenly Venerate Shendu said, "We have to hurry up and increase the providence of the heavenly Tao. Now that the heavenly race has moved to the netherworld, they are not suitable to be the heavenly Tao race anymore." "Which race do you think is suitable?" Hanju said, "The human race." Heavenly Venerate Shendu was from the human race and was the sect master of the human school. How could he not support the human race? Then, Heavenly Venerate Shendu chatted about the reincarnation space. Just like before, he talked about the reincarnation space's development. Heavenly Venerate Shendu planned to develop the reincarnation space into another little heavenly Tao or even into a mortal world in the heavenly Tao. Hanju had no objections. Half of the reincarnation space belonged to him anyway. Heavenly Venerate Shendu wanted to use this to fight for Providence, but it couldn't affect Hanju. If the two of them really fell out one day, Hanju would let him know who the master of the heavenly Tao was. After chatting, Hanju returned to the 100-peak Immortal River. His gaze landed on Hanyu. This fellow had also participated in the Battle of the Netherworld and his cultivation level had increased greatly. Now, his status in the human race was only inferior to the human emperor. He even called the human emperor his brother. Hanju looked at the netherworld again. Under the domineering orders of the heavenly calamity emperor, the calamity race didn't dare to deal with ghosts, gods, and immortals. Empress Hutu and Ji Xianshan naturally wouldn't take advantage of this. The netherworld returned to its former peace. Peace is still the best. Everyone, cultivate in peace. Hanju thought silently. As long as he was given time, he would be more arrogant than anyone else when he was truly invincible. Dark Forbidden Zone. A huge bronze ship sailed. There was no living being on the huge ship, but the ship was clean. It did not look like it was uninhabited. In front of the bronze ship, Han Tuo and Yi Tian appeared. Yi Tian frowned and asked, "That's it? Why is there nothing?" Anyone would be afraid of such an invisible existence. Han Tuo flew forward and cupped his hands. "I'm Divine General Han under the evil Heavenly Emperor. I'm here to seek an audience with the inauspicious Divine Emperor." Yi Tian bowed. The bronze ship suddenly stopped. The surrounding dark space fluctuated like water blown by the wind. A hoarse voice came from the bronze ship, "Where's your emperor?" Han Tuo replied, "His Majesty is looking for the divine jade of the ruins of End for you." The inauspicious divine emperor did not reply. Han Tuo braced himself and continued, "His Majesty asked us to invite you to capture Divine Lord Peacock. He said that as long as you can do it, he will think of a way to gather 3 pieces of divine jade of the ruins of End for you and let your race control the deity realm of the ruins of End's sky." An extreme killing intent attacked. Han Tuo's face instantly turned pale. Behind him, Yi Tian also took out his Dharma treasure and prepared to fight. Yi Tian was extremely nervous. He didn't even know where the inauspicious Divine Emperor was. "Humph, lead the way." "Thank you, Senior." Han Tuo heaved a sigh of relief and immediately turned around to lead the way. Yi Tian followed beside him and asked with a voice transmission, "What is the divine jade of the ruins of End?" This old fellow is actually willing to agree. CHCK for EWSD Rise on No VL Bin. Silencio, don't talk nonsense. You have to be respectful to your senior. As for the divine jade of the ruins of End, His Majesty told me that if someone obtains it, they can obtain the providence of the deity realm of the ruins of End and even control it. A long time ago, the deity realm of the ruins of End was actually a supreme treasure. What? Supreme treasure? There's such a huge supreme treasure? I heard that, too. Ask His Majesty yourself when you return. TSK. Time passed. In the blink of an eye, 3,000 years passed. In the past 3,000 years, the immortal world had changed drastically. The thing most worth mentioning was the rise of the human race. the human school, the Chan school, the Jia school, the Buddhist sect, the Divine Palace, the Holy Mother sect, the Loose Heaven sect, and so on had all entered the human race and spread the Tao techniques to help them rise quickly. The reproduction ability of the human race was already powerful. Now that they had the support of the sage sects, they could be said to have soared into the sky. The numerous races of the immortal world were nervous. They were not stupid. They could tell that the sages wanted to support the humans again. However, in the past, they often bullied them. They were worried that the humans would take revenge on them after they rose. The happiest was none other than the dragon race. Long Hao had face, and all the elders of the dragon race admired him. If not for Long Hao, the dragon race would also be one of the mortal enemies of the human race. Apart from that, there were dozens of mortal worlds between the netherworld and the immortal world. The Calamity race did not stay. Under the arrangements of the Heavenly Calamity Emperor, more and more Calamity race living beings reincarnated and helped the Calamity race integrate into the Heavenly Tao. The reincarnated living beings of the Calamity race also headed to the edge of the immortal world or the mortal world to help the Heavenly Tao expand. The Calamity race's performance satisfied the sages. At least from the looks of it, the Calamity race really wanted to join the Heavenly Tao. In short, the entire immortal world was thriving. On this day, the strange deity suddenly found Hanju. It was very emotional. Through telepathy, Hanju knew that this fellow was very terrified as if he had encountered his natural enemy. You're saying that an extremely powerful and auspicious deity is approaching the Heavenly Tao? As Hanju became stronger, the strange deity that had long fused with him also became stronger. Although it was far inferior to him, in terms of strength, it was already equivalent to a sage. Its perception could naturally cover the Heavenly Tao. The strange deity nodded, extremely nervous. Hanju looked up. It was silent outside the Heavenly Tao. There was nothing unusual. However, it was very difficult to see the inauspicious evil. Hanju suddenly discovered that Divine Lord Peacock had disappeared. This fellow had always been in seclusion in the Calamity Race's city. Could it be that he broke his promise? No! Hanju immediately checked the emails. Your good friend Divine Lord Peacock was attacked by an inauspicious evil, X90293021. Your good friend Divine Lord Peacock was attacked by a mysterious mighty figure and was severely injured. Gasp! Had he attacked the inauspicious evil space? Hanju showed a frown. It seemed that this inauspicious deity was very strong. It was very likely one of the top existences among the inauspicious deities. Hanju decided to visit Divine Lord Peacock in his dreams. In any case, this fellow was severely injured, but he did not die. This meant that the inauspicious deity did not want to kill him. Divine Lord Peacock was probably imprisoned. In the dream, Divine Lord Peacock suddenly opened his eyes. Seeing that it was the Dark Forbidden Lord, he heaved a sigh of relief. Hanju smiled faintly. What? You can't do that? Divine Lord Peacock gritted his teeth and said, Your disciple is the inauspicious Divine Emperor? Very good, no wonder you're called the Dark Forbidden Lord. Even the strongest existence in the Dark Forbidden Zone is your disciple. Hanju was silent. What the hell? It turned out that the existence who attacked Divine Lord Peacock was called the inauspicious Divine Emperor. From this name, it was obvious that he was an ominous existence. What a chaotic era! Anything could give birth to a supreme expert. Seeing Hanju's silence, Divine Lord Peacock cursed. You don't follow the rules. What happened to fighting someone at the same realm? This fellow even brought helpers. Hanju thought of the number of times Divine Lord Peacock was attacked and couldn't help but mourn. This fellow was really miserable. Hanju asked, Do you know what realm the inauspicious Divine Emperor is at? Nonsense. I don't know, but can he still be at the same realm as me? Hee hee. What do you mean? Divine Lord Peacock had a look of disbelief. In his opinion, the inauspicious Divine Emperor was in existence like a great Tao sage or even stronger. But on second thought, if he was really that strong, he wouldn't have fought with him for so long. Could it be? Divine Lord Peacock's heart skipped a beat, and his expression gradually darkened. Hanju asked, "My disciple has a strange personality. How is he going to deal with you?" Divine Lord Peacock gritted his teeth and cursed. "How would I know? He sealed me on a bronze ship. I asked him why, but he ignored me. He's like a mute. However, there are still 2 people on the ship. They are the 2 young divine generals of the evil Heavenly Emperor. Damn it, why aren't they also sealed? They are so weak and still dare to mock me. If not for me being sealed, I could have destroyed their bodies and souls with a breath." Visit NOV CM for the L-Test updates Evil Heavenly Emperor. Could it be that the evil Heavenly Emperor had asked the inauspicious Divine Emperor to capture Divine Lord Peacock? That should be the case. Otherwise, why would the evil Heavenly Emperor's subordinates be alive? Hanju said, "Don't worry. The evil Heavenly Emperor will treat you well." The evil Heavenly Emperor was not as strong as Divine Lord Peacock. If he really wanted to kill Divine Lord Peacock, he could just let the inauspicious Divine Emperor kill him. With Hanju's understanding of the evil Heavenly Emperor, this fellow probably wanted to subdue Divine Lord Peacock. The evil Heavenly Emperor loved to recruit prodigies. What do you mean? Could it be that the evil Heavenly Emperor is also your Divine Lord Peacock widened his eyes in disbelief. Hanju was secretly pleased. Aren't you very confident? He was finally shocked. Seeing that Hanju didn't answer, Divine Lord Peacock's imagination ran wild. The Dark Forbidden Lord had cursed the chaotic deity and Kundi to death. Under him were the leaders of major factions like the inauspicious Divine Emperor and the evil Heavenly Emperor. Gasp! Even the arrogant Divine Lord Peacock was shocked. The Dark Forbidden Lord was so strong and controlled such a powerful force, but he had been hiding behind the scenes. What did he want? Divine Lord Peacock suddenly looked up and asked, "Could you be the primordial fiend celestial that the Tao ancestor once mentioned?" Hanju said calmly, "Primordial fiend celestial? Who does he think he is?" Damn it! This fellow had really guessed correctly. Divine Lord Peacock said disdainfully, "You really know how to brag. Are you going to let me go or not? I'm convinced, okay? Tell the inauspicious Divine Emperor to let go of me. I'm going to kill those 2 divine generals." Hanju was worried that the 2 weak divine generals were Han Tuo and Yi Tian. These 2 were like a pair of pants and had always been inseparable. "Don't hurt them. I'll let you go when it's time." What do you mean? Not letting go? You still want the evil Heavenly Emperor to humiliate me? Hanju remained silent. Divine Lord Peacock was furious. "Humph! You look down on me. I don't need your help to speak. I will definitely destroy the inauspicious Divine Emperor." Boom! The dream shattered. Hanju opened his eyes and shook his head with a smile. "Silly Peacock. If he was really my disciple, I'd definitely let you go. But he's not." Hanju looked outside the heavenly Tao again, and his gaze landed on the primordial origin coffin. TSK, why didn't the inauspicious Divine Emperor find this fellow? Hanju thought for a moment and let her enter the Taoist temple. The strange deity was chased out. As soon as she entered, Xing Hongxian quickly walked up and started touching him. "It's been tens of thousands of years. I can't hold it in anymore. What nonsense! Husband, why are you being so awkward? You're a Zenith Heaven Golden Immortal, after all. How can you be obsessed with mortal desires? Don't you want to? I mean, it's not that I don't want to. Several years later, Xing Hongshuan's expression was bitter. Husband, are you going back on your word? Hanju asked helplessly, must we have a child? Yes, just take it as my wish. Do you want the child's potential to be poor or good? Of course, it has to be good. It's definitely going to be the #1 talent in the world. Not necessarily. You'll drag down my bloodline. Xing Hongshan was stunned. Her eyes immediately filled with tears as she bit her lips. She looked truly pitiful. Hanju suddenly became interested in his new child. Could it be that he had won a prize? Did he really create an extraordinary genius? End of 5 chapter mass release, and it will go back to normal release schedule from tomorrow.